Welcome to Gaming News, where we bring to you the latest in gaming news. And boy, oh boy, do we have a treat for you tonight. This is so atrocious. This is getting ahead of ourselves right here. But there's a lot going on if you don't know. Google Stadia has recently launched. There's a lot going on with it, and even more stuff is happening. And there's Call of Duty stuff going on, as well as something from Activision Blizzard CEO, which is only gonna make things much worse for if you're Activision Blizzard fanboy or fangirl. If you love Activision and Blizzard, their games and stuff, yeah, things are gonna get way worse before they get better, and you'll find out soon enough. But first off, let's start off with Google Stadia. Now, if you don't know, there's been a lot of just controversy with Google Stadia. It has launched to just abysmal ratings. People don't know, didn't even know that it launched. I didn't know. There was no news outlet. There was nothing that said, "Oh my God, this is the launch. Everybody wait for it. This is when it's gonna launch." No, it just came out. People were like, "What? Oh, it's out." Then, by the unimpressed, as you can see, people didn't get their Stadias. Apparently, people were getting it 2 days later, 1 day later. They said that they pre-ordered the Pro, the first, or whatever the hell they're calling it, and it just did not work. And then they tried using it, those that were able to get their hands on it, and some codes didn't work. Other times there were just bad connections. It was just all around horrible. And this is where this comes in, where it's only getting worse. So there's speculation, and there's people saying like, "Oh, I can't buy certain games if I have Google Stadia, if I get rid of Google Stadia Pro," and things of that nature. It says, the Stadia Pro subscription seems like a pretty sweet deal, especially for discount games that you can get. However, it seems like those discounted games come at a price, as Google says that ending your subscription will also lock you out of games that you've purchased. Will lock you out of games that you purchased at a discount. So that's pretty alarming. They apparently said, released a tweet as well. This is the update. But apparently, people were like, "Wait, what? I can't play those discounted games." So there was just a lot of things that were just made people upset. But then an update it says Google has provided a statement revolution. It says if this Twitter statement, Italian Stadia Twitter account. If your Stadia Pro subscription ends, you will keep access to any purchases made while you were a subscriber, Google said. Any purchases you make are yours to keep. You will only lose access to the games you claimed for free during your subscription period. So it's similar to that of GameStation Plus. However, PlayStation Plus and maybe Xbox, I don't know. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens when people are purchasing it, if that's actually the case. I would think that would be the case. It would be so horrible, like just really horrible if it didn't happen, if that didn't happen, if it just ended up, just messing all your games up. But here's the thing, I know what you're thinking, what? I mean, okay, that's fine, right? At least they rectified it, they did that, but there's actually more. So, more stuff is coming out. Like you said, there's a lot of problems and people just disliking what is happening with Google Stadia. And, well, don't purchase the game. So, first and foremost, let me put this over here, because this is what actually we're going to be talking about. And that is, of course, the Google Stadia. It says use is over 100 megabytes per minute at 1080p. So they did a little calculations. So the service warns that it can be used between 4.5 gigs and 20 gigs of data per hour. That's pretty freaking horrible, especially because there's data caps. There's some companies that say, oh, you can have unlimited internet service. However, the amount of speed that we're going to give you is limited. So if you're thinking about that and what's going on with those things, you may want to rethink purchasing this game. I mean, purchasing this console or whatever it technically is, streaming service, because this is horrible to say the least. There doesn't seem to be indication of this dwindling down. There is no way for you to, I guess, rectify this to finish this. It says at 4K and 60 frames per second, 20 gigs per hour. I want you to think about that. That's pretty atrocious. Now, there is an alternative coming out, of course, which we're going to get to, which is, of course, Xbox's reveal of their own streaming service that they're going to be providing. Oh, and by the way, apparently, from what I hear, is that 1080p is not going to be available until next year. So that's actually something to kind of think about. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things coming out that it's just like none of this is working. And this is just, like I said, it's really bad. It's not something that you'd really want. Let's see, tracking Google stated that Red Dead Redemption 2 at 1080p, 60 frames per second on Stadia. Duration 13 minutes. Data total 1.5 gig. Wow. Data per minute. This is really, wow, this is horrible. Like, seriously. I mean, this is not something that's convenient, not something that you definitely want to get. This is just so bad. So this means just to play through the story mode, you will use more than 335 gigs on Stadia at 60 frames. 4K, you're likely using at least twice that much. Oh my goodness. Like I said, this is really horrible. Who's to know what's actually gonna, happen with this? They wanted to be first at launch. They're first at launch, but at what cost? I mean, this is just really bad news for them. Especially because, well, the Xbox has already, or will be coming out with something quite similar, their own streaming services. Who's to say, though, how it's actually going to be once it's implemented? But yeah, apparently people were able to play it. They at the Xbox XO19 or whatever the hell I want to call it. Yeah, people were actually able to play it, and they said they had a good time with it. The thing though is, now that the whole memory thing has come out with Google Stadia, is, well, how exactly is it going to be with this company? What's gonna happen? With this console, with this launch, how much is it gonna ruin things? Is it gonna take a lot of data? What is this gonna be like? The interesting part, as well as you can see here, is apparently DualShock 4 will be possible. They already said it's going to have support for it. So if you have the PS4, you're going to be the PS4 controller, you're going to be able to play it. So that's pretty great. They're all inclusive and incorporating everything. And also, I believe that, I don't know if it's the xCloud, but with streaming services with the cloud, I know that they are working with PlayStation because they see all these challenges coming up, all these other streaming services popping up. And they need to kind of step it up and get out there. Who's to know exactly what's going to happen once it fully launches? I don't see it changing that much. I think the console is still going to be something that people want. Because, people want to be like, oh, I can take the Switch on the go. I can take this on the go. Well, that's when they had, the portable PS Vita, PSPs, all that stuff. But the thing is, yeah, now you're kind of able to play games through streaming services or stuff like that on your phone, on your tablets. PlayStation is doing that, and I think it's interesting, but it's no way gonna replace the console and gonna replace the way that we actually play games. This is just another avenue that they're exploring to just try to earn more money. Is it gonna work out in the end? I really doubt it. There's a lot of streaming thing going on. You have to pay up for a lot of data, and as you saw with Google Stadia, there's a lot of data that you're probably going to be using. But yeah, next we're going to move on to just Activision and Blizzard, just what's going on with them. Modern Warfare, of course, they're having like this bad matchmaking. They're saying that I guess the whole overall aspect is that it's not matchmaking to the right amount of death to kill ratios. Apparently, there's a world thing going on. But yeah, it's basically just people are upset. They're trying to update things. They're trying to fix things, but they're gonna be able to do it. This is skill based. This is the first time I think they were actually able to do it. However, I think they need to implement more instead of just, I guess, it says right here, compare metrics like the kill death ratios. They really need to, I guess, change that up. Because it says specifically the game takes your recent kill death ratio and not your global or all time ratio. So I think that's a problem that they gotta fix. But most likely they didn't when they first play. Because they probably all play internally, so they're probably just still getting kind of matched to a certain extent. But most likely they are gonna fix that. So there's really nothing, I guess, too bad about that. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. People are freaking out probably just for no reason, but then who's to say if a lot of people are actually feeling this way, but most likely it's going to be a certain amount. Next, of course, more Activision Blizzard stuff. This is probably, if you were to say, like, just read the title, Activision Blizzard CEO, there's no good reason we can't have 1 billion customers in 5 years. This is horrible. The reason this is horrible, I know you're thinking, but he's being positive. No. Okay, you got to think about where those 1 billion customers are going to be coming from. He mentions in this article the launch of getting like 100 million people on phones for launching their Call of Duty on there. Their game. So where do you think all these things are going to come from? There's probably going to be more implementation of phone usage, which has already, pissed off a lot of people. They've already said a lot of things, like, don't you have phones? You guys have phones, right? For Diablo, which got just horrible. It's just horrible. But yeah, this is going to be crazy. I think it's going to most likely hurt the developers and your games. Where are they going to get these things? There's probably going to be more implementation of certain aspects of things that people don't like, things including that are from phones. Like I said, it says PCs to phones. It's going to change things. They're trying to say, but at the end of the day, if they don't get that 1 billion, who do you think they're going to take it out on, huh? They're going to take it out on the gamers, but most importantly on the developers. They're going to face this head on, and they're just going to be bombarded with just hate from these higher ups who are like, why aren't you getting me, 1 billion people? This is our net growth. This is what we need to be by this month, by this day, by this year. This is where we need to be. We need to have this many more customers. However, how is that going to happen? How are they going to do that? There's going to be a lot of decision making that's going to go bad. Most likely, they're not going to, basically look out for these game developers because they want to meet that quota. And guess what? It's probably not going to be met through consoles, because I mean they're already messing up. I mean, there's a lot they're still trying to fix. Their stock is going down. They're under investigation right now for insider trading, because apparently a lot of them ended up selling their stock when they were supposedly supposed to buy back more stock. Event transpired, they sold a lot. They made a lot of money. So now you gotta ask, okay, so this is really bad. How much worse is it going to get? And what's gonna happen? And also, he mentions, though, he talks a little bit because he gets asked about the whole Blitzchung thing, but he doesn't really address the situation. He says that, oh, yeah, like we're not here for you. We're not here for that. We just make the games. I don't want to talk. Like, basically, he doesn't want to talk about it. He's like, okay, whatever. You're entitled to your thing, but we don't want that in our games. We don't want that in our community. So he basically saying, like, no, we don't want any of that. Anything that has to do with freedom, anything that has to do with that, that's not what we're out about at Blizzard, at Activision Blizzard. This is horrible. Why the hell are you going to want to purchase their games after that? Like, seriously. I mean, people are still going to. Nobody gives a shit, you know. It's true. A lot of people are still purchasing their games, still, you know, buying their content, all these other stuff. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but it looks like this is going to be, I mean, it seems like it might affect them, because there's a lot of companies already getting hate for this. But yeah, he says that he welcomes a conversation, but just not, you know, don't say it on their thing. But he's not going to be actually, he likes talking about, he likes the fact, this is the interesting part, okay? Let me read this quote. I think my responsibility is to satisfy our audiences and our stakeholders, our employees, our shareholders. But I think there are some business people who are incredible examples of character and integrity. So he's basically saying he doesn't have that. And principle that have what you see are the great attributes of leadership. So he's technically saying he doesn't have any leadership. And they are incredibly inspiring for me. But I think, you know, they do have the right to articulate views and visions and voices about government and politics. And I love engaging with those people. He's not saying, hey, he's like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's basically what it is. Yeah, this is ridiculous. But yeah, that's pretty much all the gaming news that I have. I was going to try and wait to see if, Half-Life 3 was coming out, but I'll probably do like a separate little video for that, because I hasn't been anything. So thank you guys so much for watching. For more videos, click over there if you stayed all the way through. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, visit Patreon, all the good stuff. Make sure you make some donations, because I need money. It's the holidays, who knows. Again, thank you all so much, and I will catch you guys on another gaming news episode. Until then, take care. And stay warm, because it's cold. It's cold in California. That's crazy. All right. Bye.